happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet, stamp, stamp. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet, stamp, stamp. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet, stamp, stamp. If you're happy and you know it, bang the drums, boom, boom. If you're happy and you know it, bang the drums, boom, boom. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, bang the drums, boom, boom. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray. If you're happy and you know it, do a four, clap, clap, stamp, stamp, boom, boom, hooray. If you're happy and you know it, do a four, clap, clap, stamp, stamp, boom, boom, hooray. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, do a four. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands, clap, clap. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands, clap, clap. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands, clap, clap. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet, stamp, stamp. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet, stamp, stamp. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet, stamp, stamp. If you're happy and you know it, bang the drums, boom, boom. If you're happy and you know it, bang the drums, boom, boom. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, bang the drum, boom, boom. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray. If you're happy and you know it, do a four, clap, clap, stamp, stamp, boom, boom, hooray. If you're happy and you know it, do a four, clap, clap, stamp, stamp, boom, boom, hooray. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, do a four, clap, clap, stamp, stamp, boom, boom, hooray.
Good morning, everybody. It is another Wednesday morning, and I'm very, very happy to see you all again. I hope that you're all okay and that you're working hard and trying your very best in class. I'd like to begin this morning by saying how very proud I am of each and every one of you. You remember to social distance, you remember to wear your masks. I see people washing and sanitizing their hands regularly throughout the day. All of these actions are helping us in Botswana stay healthy. It is very important that we keep doing it. So thank you so much and keep going. Right, it's time now to find out who's had a birthday this week. In fact, in the last 2 weeks, since we didn't have assembly last Wednesday. In reception A, Gillian Way had a birthday. In reception B, Kaya. 1A, Thomas. 1B, Lentletsi. In 1C, Clonella had a birthday. In 2A, Leila, Teo, Yamasa and Amani all had birthdays. In standard 2C, Aaron had a birthday. 3A, Ophile. In 3B, Fatima and Shruti had birthdays. And in 3C, Kanya had a birthday. Happy birthday to all those children. I hope you had a wonderful day celebrating, and we wish you a wonderful year ahead.
Good morning, boys and girls. We're going to start off with a happy birthday song, because if you happen to have a birthday this week, this is especially for you, and it's for you to sing along.
Mog, the Forgetful Cat, written and illustrated by Julia Kerr. Once there was a cat called Mog. She lived with a family called Thomas. Mog was very nice, but not very clever. She didn't understand a lot of things. A lot of other things she forgot. She was a very forgetful cat. Sometimes she ate her supper and then forgot that she had eaten it. Sometimes she thought of something in the middle of washing her leg. Then she forgot to wash the rest of it. Once she forgot that cats can't fly. But most of all, she forgot her cat flap. The cat flap led from the kitchen into the garden. Mog would go out and in again. It was her own little door. The garden always made Mog very excited. She smelled all the smells, she chased the birds, she climbed the trees, she ran round and round with her big fluffed up tail. And then she forgot the cat flap. She forgot that she had a cat flap. She wanted to go back in the house, but she couldn't remember how. In the end, she sat outside the kitchen window and meowed until someone let her in. Afterwards, you could always tell where she had sat. This made Mr. Thomas very sad. He said, "Bother that cat." But Debbie said, "She's nice." Once Mog had a very bad day. Even the start of the day was bad. Mog was still asleep. Then Nicky picked her up. He hugged her and he said, "Nice kitty." Mog said nothing, but she was not happy. Then it was breakfast time. Mog forgot that cats have milk for breakfast. She forgot that cats only have eggs as a treat. She ate an egg for breakfast. Mrs. Thomas said, "Bother that cat." Debbie said, "Nicky doesn't like eggs anyway." Mog looked through her cat flap. It was raining in the garden. Mog thought, perhaps the sun is shining in the street. When the milkman came, she ran out. The milkman shut the door. The sun was not shining in the street after all. It was raining. A big dog came down the street. Mog ran. The dog ran too. Mog ran right around the house, and the dog ran after her. She climbed over the fence. She ran through the garden and jumped up outside the kitchen window. She meowed a big meow, very sudden and very loud. Mrs. Thomas said, "Bother that cat." Debbie said, "It wasn't her fault." Mog was very sleepy. She found a nice, warm, soft place and went to sleep. She had a lovely dream. Mog dreamed that she had wings. She could fly everywhere. She could fly faster than the birds, even quite big birds. Suddenly she woke up. Mrs. Thomas said, "Bother that cat." Debbie said, "I think you look nicer without a hat." Debbie gave Mog her supper, and Mog ate it all up. Then Debbie and Nicky went to bed. Mog had a rest too, but Mr. Thomas wanted to see the fight. Mr. Thomas said, "Bother that cat." Mog thought, "Nobody likes me." And then she thought, "Debbie likes me." Debbie's door was open. Debbie's bed was warm. Debbie's hair was soft like a kitten fur. Mog forgot that Debbie was not a kitten. Debbie had a dream. It was a bad dream. It was a dream about a tiger. The tiger wanted to eat Debbie. It was licking her hair. Debbie shouted. Mog jumped. Mr. and Mrs. Thomas said, "Bother that cat." Debbie said nothing. She was still crying because of her bad dream. Mog ran out of the room and right through the house and out of her cat flap. She was very sad. The garden was dark. The house was dark too. Mog sat in the dark and thought dark thoughts. She thought, "Nobody likes me. They've all gone to bed and there's no one to let me in. They didn't even give me my supper." Then she noticed something. The house was not quite dark. There was a little light moving about. She looked through the window and saw a man in the kitchen. Mog thought, "Perhaps that man will let me in. Perhaps he will give me my supper." She meowed her biggest meow, very sudden and very, very loud. The man was surprised. He dropped his bag. It made a noise, and everyone in the house woke up. Mr. Thomas ran to the kitchen. He shouted, "Burglar!" The burglar said, "Bother that cat." Mr. and Mrs. Thomas telephoned the police. Debbie let Mog in, and Nicky hugged her. A policeman came, and they told him what had happened. The policeman looked at Mog. He said, "What a remarkable cat! I've seen watchdogs, but I've never seen a watch cat. She will get a medal." Debbie said, "I think she'd rather have an egg." Mog got a medal. She also had an egg every day for breakfast. Mr. and Mrs. Thomas told all their friends about her. They said, "Mog is really remarkable," and they never, or almost never, said, "Bother that cat." Right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the story about Mog. I think Mrs. Frolick's cat is very similar to Mog. My cat always forgets that I've given him food and asks for more. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Keep working hard, and I'll see you all very soon. Have a lovely day, everybody. Bye.